Definitely. I want to shout out Mike Tyson in the chat with a $50 super chat.
Mike Tyson. Hey, you know who we need in the super chat besides Mike Tyson? Tyler Durden.
Yeah, Tyler Durden.
One of the best movies ever, Fight Club.
Fight Club, baby.
Great movie.
But shout out to Mike Tyson with the $50 super chat. He said, "Thank you, DCC. Thank you, Mr. Hartman. This information is mind-boggling. I've always known the government overly spies on us. I'm going to read all these books. And with that being said, do you recommend we as people? I mean, what do you recommend to us people to protect ourselves?"
Well, all of the stuff we're talking about. So, just first off, understand it's happening.
Yes.
Okay. Understand what they're doing. Remember that when it comes to money, the key is to have things and resources over pieces of paper with dead presidents on.
Right.
Because the pieces of paper with the dead presidents can be debased, and it constantly is through inflation. So things have intrinsic value, and it's important to own and control things. Right? Because they have value intrinsically, regardless of what a currency they're attached to or not attached to. You know, one of the things I talked about on my podcast a lot right after the Great Recession started.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's 2007, 2008, Great Recession, the worst economy in 7 decades is underway. Okay. And I said to my listeners, I said, look, if you looked around the day before, and most people look at the Great Recession as starting when Lehman Brothers failed.
Right.
Okay. So, but, that's a fuzzy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends who you talk to. But if you looked around the world before the Great Recession, when everybody thought things were great and business was booming and the real estate market was booming and the stock market and whatever, right? If you looked around, there was a certain amount of oil, gold, food, agriculture, natural resources, copper, aluminum, every commodity on earth.
Right.
There was a certain amount of housing stock. And then look at the day after the Great Recession began, say the day after Lehman failed.
Right.
The same resources were there.
Yeah.
Okay, the resources did not change. There was no war, there was no nuclear bomb that exploded all the housing stock, that, got rid of all the gold. It was all still there. Yeah. All the oil was still there. All the everything was still there. It simply changed its nominal price. But its intrinsic value was still needed. Yes. Still, that gallon of gas got you the same amount of miles of driving pleasure or hedonics, right?
Right.
The day before the Great Recession and the day after the Great Recession, right? So the things have intrinsic value. The money does not.
Right.
And we really shouldn't call it money. We should call it currency.
Currency.
Because that's the proper name.
Right.
Money is intrinsically valuable.
Right.
Currency is a symbol of value.
Yeah. And then everything has value